I don't know a crazy amount about it.
I'd say I don't know much at all.
It helps your core a lot. Great sex, apparently.
Having stronger and longer lasting orgasms.
More confident, perhaps.
Good control over your bladder.
Some sort of pregnancy aspect.
Easier childbirth. I'm just guessing, to be honest.
I found out that a third of women will experience pelvic floor issues in their lifetime, and I just couldn't believe that I hadn't heard about the pelvic floor before.
The symptom that is the most well-known and has the biggest impact on women's day-to-day is leaks. So being able to strengthen your pelvic floor and have better kind of control is one of the biggest benefits of pelvic floor training.
If you have a strong pelvic floor, the water's your oyster, you can do anything.
It's good to make sure that you're not leaking when you're doing things like running or coughing or sneezing.
You can run, you can jump, you can dance, you can laugh at the funniest joke without the risk of embarrassment.
Before getting pregnant, I definitely thought that pelvic floor issues only affected older women. So I think that's a huge misconception that's out there. And I guess that's why it's so important to try and do the exercises.
It's similar to like going to the gym. You're working on yourself, you're bettering yourself, and you make yourself feel more confident.
Pelvic floor muscles can be trained and strengthened and improved.
I first learned that I should be doing pelvic floor exercises after my daughter was born.
When you're pregnant with your first child, you hear a lot of horror stories about what can go wrong with your pelvic floor. I was sitting actually on the phone to my husband and I just looked down and I was like, oh, I've wet myself. I had absolutely no idea it was happening, didn't feel the urge to go.
I think it was when I had my daughter. I remember feeling embarrassed about it until I spoke to other mums and then they said they experienced the same thing.
I had a really interesting experience on the plane ride over here and I just kept needing the toilet. I'd get up 5 minutes later, get up again, and I was just so embarrassed.
I started running and then one day I was like, oh, something's happening, what is that? Basically, I just thought I'll stop running. Easy solution, not ideal, because you don't want things that you enjoy doing to stop.
I get really bad allergies, especially since I've gotten cats. It's worth it. And sometimes my cat will be on my lap and I'll start sneezing. And I didn't really know that it wasn't super normal to experience leaks sometimes.
I think women suffer in silence when it comes to their pelvic floor because there's a lot of shame around it.
The reason that it's a topic that has low awareness, that people don't know much about, is because historically people haven't wanted to speak about it and there has been so much stigma.
It's amazing that we all have the same issue and none of us talk about it. Like now I know that all it takes is some exercise and it's more helpful with a trainer and an app. I mean, we all can fit that into our lives.
Although poor pelvic floor health means that women aren't confident in their bodies, we want them to feel confident, empowered and in control of their pelvic floor.
Having a strong pelvic floor enables you to go out into the world and do what you want to do with confidence without worrying about leaks, and I think that's incredibly powerful.